TransferRoom for me it's the number one thing in football at the moment. It provides everything not just an agent, but what a football club wants.
David's obviously been a massive part, and obviously, helping me, get the moves to, clubs in England. I don't know anybody who's had success alone. You need people along the way to obviously try help you. So I think it is a good platform, to communicate with agents and to try have the best success story possible.
So we currently work with over 500 agencies globally. Additionally, we have over 850 football clubs that are using it. You absolutely can't miss what's happening on there.
My contacts in football are probably second to none, but even so, within seconds I can be in touch with maybe markets I didn't normally travel to. Like TransferRoom gives me all them.
So my name's Laurence Burton. I'm the Senior Account Executive. I head up UK football for TransferRoom. We're here today to catch up with one of our trusted agency clients, David Moss, who's going to be connected with Sinclair Armstrong and just catch up on the TransferRoom platform and see how everything's going.
Yeah, my name is David Moss. I've got my own agency, the David Moss Group. It's been going since January 2024. I think I've got a mixture of players, from more senior players like William Troost-Ekong, the captain of Nigeria, who's now playing in Saudi Arabia, to players now just growing, i.e. in the Championship here with Bristol City, Sinclair Armstrong, Liam Morrison from Bayern Munich to Queen's Park Rangers, Malachi Boateng in Plymouth. And then I've got some really top young talents like Michael Noonan, 16-year-old, playing first team football at Shamrock Rovers, where most clubs in Europe are currently trying to sign. So a real mixture, really. I've been lucky enough to work all across football, from an ex-player to academy director at 2 clubs in Swansea City, Crystal Palace, moving on to head of scouting at Celtic for 7 years, and then sporting director in the Premier League with Huddersfield, and then for the last 6 years working as an agent. So I know I'm very, very lucky to have this breadth of experience all across football. Importantly, I think it gives me respect when I'm dealing with especially the clubs at the highest end, because they know I've worked at the very highest level, probably the biggest league in the world as a sporting director. So that helps massively. And then most people know I've worked at Celtic as head of scouting and the other roles in football. So it gives the credibility, the respect, and I understand from their perspective also.
So I started off at Cherry Orchard, and then I took the step to obviously move to the biggest club in Ireland in Shamrock Rovers. So I think I spent around 3 years in Shamrock Rovers. Played under 15s, League of Ireland football under the one and only Damien Duff. So I really enjoyed myself there. And then I think I did a lot of great things in terms of I made my debut at 15 against Celtic, which in Ireland was unheard of at the time. So I think that's obviously a proud achievement for myself, and then wanted to obviously take that next step. And I've always told myself, as a little kid, I wanted to play in England, and took that next step and went to QPR, and spent 4 good years at QPR. Now I'm here at Bristol City.
Sinclair's had a great rise in football from, I think I began working with him 15, 16-year-old when he was just playing Shamrock Rovers in Ireland. The contract to finish at Shamrock, and it was he was performing well. I think he made his debut for the first team. It was time for Sinclair to either go to England. This is pre-Brexit, when Republic of Irish players could come to the UK, or go to Europe. We went to various clubs in Europe, in Germany especially, and then finally we signed with Queen's Park Rangers. I knew Les Ferdinand, who was a sporting director at that particular time, and Chris Ramsey, the technical director. And I remember saying to Les, "Look, Les, I've got this striker who reminds me of you. Will you have a look at him?" And that was it, really. And within 24 hours, one training session, he phoned me up and said, "Look, David, yeah, we want to sign him."
Obviously me and David have been with each other for a while, since probably the age of 15, 16. So David's obviously been a massive part, obviously, helping me, get the moves to, clubs in England. Obviously me being 15, 16, not having a Scooby about agents, but I've had, as I said, my parents were obviously vital in that. And obviously meeting up with David and obviously seeing, what his plan was for me, I was only, invested, and obviously, took the opportunity to obviously just work with him, and he's obviously been a massive help and got me into this position today. As I said, it's belief, trust and communication, and your agent having belief in you, obviously trust in terms of like what he's going to do, and knowing that he has your best interests at heart, and obviously communication, trying to obviously keep that communication level, whether that be every week, having a phone call, text, just keeping in contact with each other, which is obviously very, very important for me.
From a personal perspective, TransferRoom for me it's the #1 thing in football at the moment. It provides everything, not just an agent, but what a football club wants in terms of that vital intelligence that's needed to perform your role. In terms of maybe spending weeks and months trying to get information, to meet people, talking to people, you can get it in a matter of seconds and minutes just by logging onto the system and getting that information. It's there in real time. That's the difference to me.
If you don't have an agent, I think it's a very, very good platform to obviously go on and try find someone. As I said, like I don't know anybody who's had success alone. You need people along the way to obviously try help you. So I think it is a good platform, to communicate with agents and to try have the best success story possible.
Yeah, just from taking out the platform to the ongoing support, Laurence has been invaluable. It's like speak to a club. I've got regular communication. We must speak 3, 4, 5 times a week about different things and how he helps me, and maybe if there's certain things I'm unsure about or I want to get in contact with. Sometimes, as you know, it's not just when you buy a product, it's what the after service is like, and not just Laurence, but everybody I come in contact with at TransferRoom, they're so easy to deal with.
So someone like David Moss, one of our trusted agencies, we do work very closely. I'm in regular communication with him, providing a lot of insights around the transfer trends, the sort of proactive stage ahead of the summer window, guidance around football clubs and international markets. Additionally, guiding him across the platform so he's able to leverage opportunities for those players in specific markets, which is ultimately going to leverage a better transfer deal or better opportunity for that player. So we currently work with over 500 agencies globally. Additionally, we have over 850 football clubs that are using it. When we talk about our critical mass in the UK market, we're now contributing towards 24% of UK domestic deals. We're now contributing towards 35% of UK international deals. So we're getting to a stage where there's so much business intelligence going through the platform and through the interactions at our TransferRoom exclusive deal days that we run, that as a club or as a trusted agent, it's becoming very invaluable to their day-to-day working processes.
TransferRoom for me is a tool that's invaluable to me, and it's more or less involved in all the deals, not just saying, right, this player moved because of TransferRoom. It's involved in everything because of the intelligence it provides me as an agent. We talked earlier about my background in football, from sporting director, head of scouting to academy director, so I would say my contacts in football are probably second to none. The time I was at Celtic for 7 years, I think every week for 7 years I travelled into Europe, but even so, again, within seconds I could be in touch with maybe markets I didn't normally travel to, like South America, to the MLS, to Estonia, to Latvia, as an example. So TransferRoom gives me all them. It's involved in nearly every deal.